What it do, Bucs fans? That wraps up your 2022 season. The Bucs, most importantly, are in the playoffs, and I know it. You would think after a loss, I normally, as a Bucs fan, we would be like, "Damn!" No, it's damn. We got through it. We're here, and we are here with our buddy Slick. This is the after. This is not the aftermath, but this is the rapid reaction. Right now, what's going on, Slick?
I would just like to say, Atlanta fans, you got to win. Thank you for participating in the 2022 NFL season. We'll see you next year. We're still going, baby. We're still going.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure playing with you.
We've been playing. Was that content? Yeah. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Not bad.
No, I tried.
You've done a white guy now because you just impressed me. I'm going to do my best impression of not Leftwich, Bowles, because I always find he talks through his teeth. Guys, I'm just not happy the way we're playing right now, but if we stick together, I think we can do some things, and this team is going places, and I'm not happy the way it went down, but we'll win and we'll keep fighting. That's how he sounds to me.
Yes, but he always looks like he's holding a big ass fart in, and it's like, just let it out. That's why he's Bowles. Todd Bowles, like, man, let it out, man. Just get it out of your system. It always looks like he's like trying to go. He had a good game. Excuse me. Oh, that's when he can only smile. That's how tight he is. But overall, guys,
the grimace smile is like, oh, this isn't it.
Yes, I'm. Look, we got through it. The most important things, please, Bucs fans, do not let the losing record fail you, because Mike Tomlin has a winning record and he's not even going to the playoffs. But now, shout out to him for having no losing season at all. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is to get a ticket to the dance, and we are in it. So now your Buccaneers will handle it, and there was good promising things, guys. Kyle Rudolph finally got a touchdown. The offense was in a rhythm. The passing was there, and we looked competent. Let's be real, guys. If the Bucs had all their starters in, we most likely would have blown the Falcons out. They didn't want to.
Oh, it's not even like it's not even close. Like,
yeah, it's not close.
The scoreline flattered them at halftime. The Buccaneers looked like they were moving the football at will at points. If it weren't for the fumble on Chris Godwin, that was probably going to go for a tutty. Look, the Buccaneers, even with Mike Evans not playing and a few other bits and pieces not happening, this Buccaneers team still looked in the same vein of last week. And me and you spoke about this. I've said this 1,000 times before. I hope they're holding back. And I'm still hoping, because I won't know until I see it in the playoffs. But I'm like, are they just like fucking playing everyone for a loop? Do you know Tom Brady just turned around to everyone and went, guys, I need to add to my legacy. And they went, Tom, what can we do? And I went, I want to be the first quarterback to win a fucking Super Bowl with a losing record. No one's going to fucking do that. So let's fucking do that. Done. That's my take now. I'm done.
You never know. I mean,
I'm not saying he called it, but
right. I know what you're saying.
At the same time, like, that is a legacy thing. Like, you are the only team in NFL history to win a Super Bowl against. And the thing is, you can turn around and people can turn around and go, oh, but their record. Yeah, but when you get to the end, when you get to the playoffs, you aren't playing teams are 3-8. You're not playing teams that are 1-10. You're playing teams with winning records. So to turn around and go, we won a Super Bowl off a losing record is actually a fucking achievement. Like, it's a crazy achievement. It shouldn't be possible.
Yes. Yeah. Now I want to look at this, and I hear you can cook, shoulda, coulda, what doesn't get wins. We looked horrible today, resting stars, right? But let me ask you this, King Cook. I got you, but would you rather look nice winning?
Do I'm the gauge.
Yeah, 60-0 today, and get booted out the first round of the playoffs? What would that accomplish? This is what we and let's see. Not Niners, Eagles, Cowboys, Giants didn't rest stars today. That's fine, but at the same time, does that really matter? At the end of the day, when you get into the playoffs, your shit is swiped as 0-0. It doesn't matter what you have done during the regular season for the most part. It's what are you going to do? Because here's the thing, King Cook, those all those teams that you just said, what is their playoff experience looking like so far with the current roster? Again, we wanted to rest our guys. The simple fact that we actually took Wirfs and them out, I was impressed because you want them to rest. And it's a mental and it's a psychological, physical thing. You want with Hainsey coming out, that shows you, hey, he's gonna be fine. Evans had an illness. Come on. We've seen Evans play with broken fucking ribs. We've seen him on a one ankle do
I
things.
don't want to see him on the one ankle in a fucking playoff game.
Right.
100%.
Right.
What am I doing the fuck 100%?
Yeah, this is a game of chess, guys, not checkers, because you want your team ready. We'll be just fine. Don't worry about it. It's the Falcons. Are the Falcons going anywhere? No, their asses is going home. The Bucs have a home playoff game, guys. Despite how everything went down, we are in the dance now. Now, if we look like shit during the playoffs, then you can bitch, and I'll be right there with you. But
Yep.
can you imagine? What if this team gets okay? Let me see what else you said. We like to interact with you guys. I feel you. I just wanted to at least put the game away before.
No, I get you. Look, I just want to add to this. It's like, Mark, you're absolutely right. Like, we all want the Bucs to win. I'm not saying. I think we're looking at the best way to look at this, King Cook, is the fact that we're looking at the silver lining of what happened today. Of course, I would rather be sat here with my man, my bro host, and AJ Turner, going, Bucs win. Isn't it sweet? Of course, because it puts people, anyone who's been mocking the Buccaneers about having the NFC South is a losers mentality division or whatever, it gets thrown out the window because we've got a winning record. It doesn't matter if it's only by one, it's still a fucking winning record. And we don't. We have a losing record, and that's fine. That's fine. Because haven't the Buccaneers always played better as underdogs? Look, how did favorites do us last year?
Not good. Not good.
How did underdogs do us the year we won the Super Bowl?
We won it.
We're an underdog team, so let's be the dog, get the dog, and win the fucking dog.
Yeah, even the 2002 Bucs, when they played the Eagles, they thought the Eagles was taking care of the Bucs because we didn't play good in cold weather. And what did we do? We played our hearts out. It's like this. For whatever reason, once the Bucs get over the underdog situation and they go to the championship game like the Super Bowl, it's not a coincidence that we dominate because we get there, we get our shit together. The Buccaneers, like you said, that's why I don't like when the Bucs sometimes play those night games. Shit, put me at a 4:00 game because then it doesn't. I feel like
that's my jam. 4:00. I'd like to point out for the NFL, for the UK, for me.
Yeah,
that's my jam because that's like 9:00 in the evening. Me and my wife can have dinner. The kids are fucking in bed. I can enjoy the game. Do you know what I had to have? I had 2 hyperactive children just running around in circles, chasing each other and then fighting. And I'm like, I can't enjoy this game. And I was enjoying the game at the start, and then they went to bed, and this shit happened.
Yeah, I think, guys, look at the big picture. The Buccaneers will be just fine. Again, we were talking about it, guys. If we can get Jensen coming back, he's gonna bring that ferocity, that mentality. He can, especially, it's one thing when someone's telling you what to do from the sideline. If Jensen gets in there and he can tell these guys on the line what to do exactly, and you put Hainsey in his natural position at playing the guard, and you got Leverett playing the guard, you got everybody doing what they need to do. Now that line doesn't seem like a liability. Now Brady has more confidence because he can see that Jensen's in. Now the receiving core, guys, Julio is going to be in there. He's going to be a lot healthier. He didn't need to play this game. It's
they were keeping those guys like, oh, you got a common cold, you got sniffle, stay out.
Yeah,
that's how it felt to me. That it was just like, yeah, we want to win the game if we can win the game. It wasn't a case of like we need to, because we didn't need to win it. We didn't.
We didn't need to win it, and we are just fine. So now, isn't it exciting? It's guys, it's more exciting to see who you're gonna play instead of, oh my God, we just gotta barely get in there. We literally sitting around, like you said, we're nitpicking. Now we can look and see who's gonna be playing the Bucs, the Cowboys, or the Eagles. Now, so far, it looks as if, let's take a look. Let's see who is doing what so far. Give me one moment, fellas, and everybody. Let's see what's going on across the league. So it looks as if the Cowboys, I don't know. The Cowboys better be winning. They better not lose to the damn. Let's see. What are the Cowboys looking like? Oh, what do you know? The Commanders are leading Dallas 13-6. Now, ain't that some shit? Now,
well, I mean, it's Hurts must be playing with a 16-0 fucking drop, nothing in
19-0.
19. Yeah, in the third quarter. I'll take that. I need Seattle Seahawks to do me proud, though.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Me and Johnny are like neck and neck right now because I got a little tipsy last night and forgot to make a pick.
Yeah, I just
tipsy is the optimum word. Let's just say me and my wife had adult entertainment.
Nothing wrong with that. So from what it looks like right now, fellas, if the Eagles win, it doesn't even matter. We'll be playing Dallas. We are playing Dallas, and there's more pressure on Dallas losing this game than the Bucs. The Bucs don't give a shit. See, now we're going to be ready.
You nailed it. To us. AJ, you've nailed it, because to them it's all about momentum. For us, it was like we got the 4th seed no matter what. It doesn't matter what changes, right? They had an opportunity to climb the ladder. They failed to climb the ladder. That means we got Dak Prescott, who foils when adversity is around him. And guess what? He likes to rely on that run game. And what are the Buccaneers so good at stopping?
I know. It's stopping the run. So stopping the run. Yeah.
You passed with flying colors, Coach.
You passed with flying colors. I got one more thing, guys. Do the Cowboys have, how many real threat receivers they have?
One. And he plays slot.
Right. CeeDee Lamb. Who the hell? Nobody's thinking about Hilton. So y'all need to cut that shit out now. I know somebody, Cowboy fans, that we got this. Hilton, you acting like you got it. Now, if you would have traded back for Amari Cooper, I might have been like, oh shit, I'm impressed. But Hilton, I like Hilton, but he is not the same Hilton. That's why you have him. And remember, we didn't even play with Carlton today. Carlton Davis will be back. Healthy. Dean will be healthy. Sean Murphy-Bunting, if he might.
Now we got all 3 of our best safeties, which means, guess what? Our favorite guy, the Buccaneer man himself, Mr. Antoine Winfield Jr., will be playing the slot with 2 great safety valves over the top if they do decide to go cover 2. Exactly. He will be manning that shit up. And he had a solid ass game chasing fucking people, because to be honest, when all the big names came off and it was him and a few other people, like the line, I guess, and him and the other safety, which it wasn't Mike Edwards, he was the one that shone the most. He was every fucking wham. The amount of tackles he stopped going in for touchdowns, and yes, they eventually some of those became touchdowns, some of them didn't, but that's not on him.
Nope.
He still stopped plays dead in their tracks. He's a game changer when necessary. Right. And I needed him to have this. This was the biggest one for me, because I'm looking at him going, is he ready to play? Because last game, I didn't think he did. The game before that, he looked a bit spotty. Today, I can turn around. This cat wants it all. This guy wants all the smoke.
And mind you, people, we didn't have Vita today, and that was a blessing. Imagine Vita and Hicks walked off healthy. So that is our big thing. Vita's gonna stuff the Cowboys line most likely. Hicks as well. Then you have Levante, who's gonna be Levante. Devin White, who's gonna be Devin White. We're gonna have more than likely a full healthy defensive roster like we did in the beginning. So for the Cowboys, this will be deja vu all over again. Like shit. Only thing we're missing is Shaq Barrett, but Bowles will find a way. So guys, relax. We got this. We will be just fine. Do not worry about today. Today was literally an exhibition. We are ready for, and look at the Cowboys. Again, the Cowboys should be spanking the hell out of the Commodores, and they're not the Commanders. You want to fight for a number one position, and this is how you coming out? Because I was looking at some of the highlights. Damn, like you said,
remind me, who's the Commanders quarterback?
Shit, I don't.
You took too long to fucking think about it. The Cowboys have a multi-million-dollar quarterback, and he can't beat a team that nobody knows the quarterback's name.
I don't know his name. I thought it was Carson, but
a game that means something. It's not like this isn't just a game in the middle of the season where we're fighting, we're trying to stack wins or what have you. This is we get an opportunity to be the Mac Daddy in our division, win the division, look like the Mac Daddy, sit there, and go, No. The Cowboys turned around and went,
Right.
I stepped in gum.
You dropped the ball. Again, this is what we mean, guys. Teams like the Cowboys, they need to finish super strong. The Bucs just needed to finish healthy. That's all we needed to do is finish healthy and see that the offense can move the ball when necessary. And remember, guys, they did that without Hainsey in there. So you imagine when Hainsey comes back, because I really don't think it's nothing serious. They were being smart. They said, we don't need this shit. Sit down.
Gage went out. As soon as that he had that back spasm, which I don't think is that bad a thing. I think he just got a bit of a stinger in the back.
Yeah. He's fine.
They were just like, get him out. I'm not risking it.
Thank you.
This was, well, I'll take all the biscuit and we ain't fucking risking it.
Right. And this was the perfect game, guys. Again, I cannot further stress what Slick said about the Cowboys. This is an important fucking game. You mean to tell me you don't want to take this number one spot? You're supposed to be beating the shit out of the Commanders and the Commodores, whatever you want to call them.
You remember when we were playing for the number 2 spot? We fought hard for that.
Yes, we did. And the thing is, here's another thing. Can you imagine? Look at the Eagles. They taking care of business. They're taking care of business. They're like, you know what? We're going to get this number one spot. And they're doing it because they want Hurts to get that extra week. So they're going all out. Cowboys, you're not. And this is what we're saying. The Cowboys have a history of fucking up. And this isn't good. If I'm the Cowboys, you're the coach. How do you feel about your team? It's like, yo, we can't even take care of this team. I get it's a rivalry game, but we are still overall better. Why aren't you beating them now? And then you think you're going to come to Tampa with that shit? Can you imagine a Tampa team ready for this? And they're not, McLaurin is the least of your worries. You got Evans on the other side. You got Godwin on the other end. Oh,
Julio Jones.
Yes. Russell Gage. Cade Otton. And we didn't even use these guys.
Running back. And do you know what I saw? And I was shocked. I saw 2 running backs in one play at one point.
Yes.
2 running backs.
I couldn't believe it.
But I don't give a shit. I'll take it. Yeah. 2 running backs. I hadn't seen that in ages from the Buccaneers. I loved it.
I loved it too. And a guy who shined today was Tompkins. When he was unlucky to get knocked out a few, but he had, like you said, going into the pregame, you wanted to see more of him. He's shown a glimpse of what he can. He's a tough little wide receiver that's up for the challenge. I reckon this is the player that Tom Brady has been looking for on the Buccaneers. That small, skinny, just changes on a dime. That Julian Edelman kind of vibe kind of guy. Yeah, he's
with a different skin pigment, obviously. who can just pluck balls out of the air and take them to ground and just keep the ball going.
I agree.
I was impressed. I was very impressed with just what he came with. I'm like, he could quite easily just say, I've solidified my job as the guy who returns punts. No, they put him in and he shined. I'd like to have seen a bit more from Gage. Guy's touchdown, and I think I think he has his moments when he's special. I'm hoping he can just string it together because we've seen glimpses of what Gage can do, and he can be a problem for people.
Yeah, he's a great intermediate possession guy, and I think they will. And
your spread, he works perfectly in. You have Mike Evans. You find a nice. You could go Julio Jones, but you know what? You could also do. You could also put someone like a Scotty Miller there. Now, Scotty Miller's probably not coming back next year unless he can take a lot of less money, and I don't think anyone's going to pay him. So you never know.
Right.
You never know. But it will be a last decision thing, and depending if anyone signs it. Then you have your slot boys. Right now, Russell Gage, Chris Godwin. That's a tasty number. That's four players on the field that legitimately, or at least three could legitimately make plays on the ball on a regular basis. And that's how I see this team.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we got coming in the playoffs, guys. That's what we got. And not only that, we have a two-headed beast of running back. We have speed kills, and we got blunt force trauma.
And both can block. And we know already Fournette can definitely block. So I honestly think this will be
I reckon he's looking for round 2.
Hell yeah. That's what
I would. I would.
He wants to put, and mind you, this is a wounded Micah Parsons. So this ain't the same Micah Parsons, because from what I was been looking at, somebody's messaging me and they said, somebody else also said it too. Edwin said Cowboys are falling apart in the last few weeks.
Yes, sir.
Right. So again, if another thing, can you imagine if Jensen comes in and now let's say if Jensen sometimes make a mistake, you got a running back that can chip and give you that extra second. Oh my God, I'm running spread. If Jensen comes back, run the fucking spread. You run that spread and you have Fournette blocking. And like you said, sometimes fake block. I'm going to pretend I'm blocking, roll out. Brady.
Once you sold, and you have sold it, because it's all about window dressing. You're showing you walk past that you walk past the boutique and your girl go, that underwear looked nice, and you're like, yeah, baby, it looks nice, and then you see the price tag and you see $100 for that? No. And then you walk past a couple of times and she turns around, imagine what I look like in it, and you're like, we go get it.
That's right. And that's
window dressing it. You're window dressing it. You're like, bam, bam, and like, we got to fucking account for this guy. And all of a sudden, someone comes to account for him, and he goes, nah. Outside release.
Boom. And we know Brady can release it quick. That will devastate the Cowboys defense, because now they might have to move in, because now it's, oh shit. Now, and what does Brady do? If he sees a one-on-one with Mike Evans, he's going to go for it. Oh, throw that shit in the air. And I'm not worried about Trayvon Diggs. I love how everybody is scared about him. No, he is another risk it, no biscuit type of corner. When he risk it and he bites, he fucks up bad. We forget Evans owned him on a touchdown in the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Or Godwin will go off, or Julio. Now, I have a feeling, I could be wrong, this might be where Julio fucking surprises everybody, like, okay, guys, I didn't have to do much this is my moment now. I'm going to go off.
Go on, Nate. Do it.
I'm going to go off and I'm going to whoop your ass, because now you know they're gonna have to check Evans. You cannot allow Evans to get going. So now if they do everything in their power to stop Evans, Julio can go off, because he's a deep threat guy, or he's an intermediate guy, or Godwin, like you said, or Gage. It's too many weapons on offense. They have to keep. I tell everybody, if the Bucs, with the receiver core that the Bucs have, if every corner on teams are not gonna, you'll have maybe 2 solid corners, and then the rest are 50-50, and some might just be flat out sorry. Like I tell everybody, name the other corners outside of the Cowboys, Trayvon Diggs, and they can't. I'm like, you know why? Because they're not big time players. So everything is written for the Bucs to take this game. Of course, the media is gonna say the Cowboys because they're the Cowboys. They're gonna go, no, they'll get it together and look at what the Bucs. No, we're talking about now, guys, common sense. I got this new thing I'm about to do. I'm like this. Let's put on our logic cap. Logic cap. That's my new thing. That's my new thing I'm bringing.
The slick cap.
Yes, put the logic cap on, guys. What in your right mind makes you think the Cowboys are just going to walk into Tampa and change overnight and just do all that? This is Dak fucking Prescott. This is who he is,
I'm putting my logic cap on. The only thing I have is momentum, and that's about to drop.
Right.
But that's the only thing I would have given them going into this. They have been they have had their nose broken, so there might be a bit of pride. You could argue there's a bit of pride for them. I don't know how prideful they are as a team, so I don't know. They could be a bit prideful. But they do not. Momentum has left the fucking town. Yep. He's not in Dallas anymore. He's at a truck stop taking fries, eating chili fries, chilling out, and he's coming to Tampa. He ain't in Dallas no more. So you now got to kickstart everything. Buccaneers don't. You can argue the Buccaneers might have to do that. But when you know you're coming out, you're accepting a loss. When you accept a loss to a degree, and I'm not talking about being a shit team accepting a loss, being a team that knows they can win because you've had your moments in that game, because they did. Mm-hmm. You can sit there and go, okay, if I was in there, we'd have fucking won. So I don't need to worry about this shit. Let's fucking go. Everything I wanted to see, everything I wanted to see. This Buccaneers football team doesn't score much. They racked up 17 points before the half was done, and it felt like there was a lot more in the tank. I don't normally get that from the Buccaneers.
Me neither.
This year, they're probably, I would say, maybe a field goal or two in it at that point. That's it. Yep. I thought there was more in it for the Buccaneers at that point. They had things going for them. They completely changed. And that changes your momentum too. You can't just take out Leonard Fournette, Tom Brady, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage, and Rashad White, Cameron Brate, Cade Otton, and take and the offense and some of the offensive line, and expect it to be the same.
Yeah.
You're changing things too much. You're not going to get what you want every single time.
Right.
And the Buccaneers not got that. And we peeked a little bit of the curtain. What can Gabbett do? Well, not a lot. That's what we found. Right. Not a lot. No. No. Yes. Being prepared to be the. I'm backtracking now. I'm going to backtrack. He was prepared to come into the game at some point. That's a fact. He was prepared for that.
Yeah.
So was Kyle Trask. They were both. We hadn't seen much, and that does not mean Kyle Trask is a bust and he's done. He did look poor. In fact, I actually quite liked what I saw. If I had to pick the two of them, one had better instincts, one had a better arm. I say Trask had better instincts. Gabbert had the better arm.
Yeah. And with instincts come experience, and he will get there. He just again, guys.
Look, hey, Desmond Ritter has had 4 to 5 games experience.
Right.
It's a big difference to being like, yes, he's a rookie, but he hasn't just walked out of Georgia and walked straight into the Atlanta Falcons. He's had prep. He's had time. He's been prepped to be. They see him. They're looking at him as potentially being the answer to their quarterback problem. Mm-hmm. They're not saying he is, but they're looking at him as a potential. We're not looking at anything as a potential right now because we are focused on winning the division and on top of that, winning the fucking playoffs and going for another Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. And I like how you was talking about the simple fact again, guys, because I'm going to keep saying it because we most likely are going to be playing Dallas. You're Dallas right now. This isn't good. Again, you're in your home. As he said, the Bucs today, we played like, man, we could have whooped you if we wanted to, but we see the bigger prize, so we're going to sit down. Remember, guys, the Bucs usually struggle hard as hell to put up 17 points. They put up 17 points in the first half, like Slick said, 17. And it wasn't like it was hard. They did it with ease. How many times?
If Chris Godwin didn't get that ball popped out,
Yep.
let's face it, it'd been a lot more.
Right, and now, side note for Godwin, he's got to know when to fall down sometimes, but he'll get better.
The only reason I want to go against that, and me and you, we have our disagreements occasionally. The only reason I say that is because you can't win in this scenario. So if you go to the ground, you're soft, and you're a pussy, and you're not this, and you're not that, and you're not that. And I get where you're going. You're absolutely right, but you're also not wrong in the sense of fighting for yards. So there is no right answer. He did everything. In my opinion, it's just he's very unlucky to have it back-to-back games.
Right.
He covered up the ball. 2 hands on the ball. Yeah, he left a spot. Weirdly enough, guess what? My forearms could not cover a ball. Even if I did this, did that, there will be a spot where you can get the ball out.
Yep, and punch it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not against it. It's just he's just been very unlucky, and I can understand the frustration. I just want to say, guys, if you see a guy go, here's a perfect example of it. We currently have a guy in our team that catches the football from kickoffs and punt returns and runs into contact. And we're like, he's a fucking Mac Daddy. He's a fucking dude.
Hey, yeah.
Guy before him, scared of contact, dived at the floor. We'll cut him for ribbons because he was scared of contact. Chris Godwin does that in a 4th down scenario or a 3rd down scenario. You're all calling him a pussy. So I'm not having it. I will say, yeah, you're right. He could have. But that's in the mentality of the player, is to fight for yards. You're never going to drill that out of them. You can't turn around to a player and, oh, in this scenario, you need to do this. It's like there's so much going on. He's caught the ball. He's running with the ball. He saw contact coming. He braced for contact. I get it. I wouldn't be surprised, AJ, if you are right. In the future, he just goes, fuck it. I'm hitting the deck. I'm just fucking going. I'm diving, and what I get is what I get. As soon as people like bearing down on him. But it's timing. It's like football is like this. It's like bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
There's no way you can just turn around. It's like almost, we kind of act like some of our players have matrix mode where they can just stop. Motherfucker's about to hit me. Motherfucker's if I go this way, I do this.
Yeah.
That way.
I catch the drift. It's sometimes it's just the way it is. Because even the commentators said, they said Godwin did everything right. That's one of those. It happens.
Back to back.
I'm just sometimes he makes me nervous because I just want him to stay healthy. Because sometimes when you fight too much, how some of those assholes can try
that slot though, dude. You can't be a pussy slot.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta be about that action, and that's what makes him effective. Because corners have to acknowledge that, and linebackers, because if they go, oh shit, especially weak ass corners, because you have to tackle Godwin. You can't try to just do a little shifty thing or bump him, because he'll make you pay dearly. So is Russell Gage. I like those two in the slot because they're dogs, and their intermediate route running is superb and crisp. Godwin just kills. It's like when he goes through there, it's like he can get through the traffic, and then he'll fight you. And now, man, I do like the dog in him, and that's why if I'm the Bucs, just get that fucking passing going. You change the way it is, because people are saying, well, they don't have a good run game. It's okay. We have a passing. We have receiving.
The run game looked pretty solid until they went out.
Right. And
they were fucking chunking yardage. And I will give Byron one thing. He didn't just go, oh, we're going to truck it. We're going to truck it. We're going to keep going. We'll keep going. He mixed it up a little bit more.
Yes, he did.
Not much as I'd like him to, or like more creative, but he showed more creative side. The one thing I always get a little bit frustrated when I see the Buccaneers play is it's usually on 3rd down, and it's 3rd and inside 5 or less. And I see our wide receiver, so the widest receiver, your X or your Z, whichever way you want to quantify him. He's tied to his slot. And the real estate that I see, and he runs deep, and I'm like, dude, if he just puts a little shimmy in that thing, it's done. It's not even close. Like, you get him to run to 5, so we're like 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 6. You get him to run to 5. He does that little shimmy, shake and bake. A guy's got to think for a split second. He turns, catches the ball. All he has to do is lean forward, for the first down.
Right.
Just sometimes it's simple stuff. And I know that, like, sometimes a play's called and that's the play, but because I guess I'm looking at it from a Madden point of view. I see that in Madden. I'm changing the route. I'm like, oh, I've given my cat a deep. All right, now you're running an out because I see his leverage is outside, so he's given up the outside, so he's given me the real estate. I see you opening up, and there's space. I'm going to you all day long.
I agree.
Little things like that, attentions to detail that just. Only on third down though. You can't do that all the game through because it doesn't work. But you can have like an in break or an out break and say, call it stick, stick in, and they could just turn around, sticky, or what's the opposite of sticky? Slime.
And
out.
And I want to
grimy means you're going out, you're going in.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I just want to give you an update. Now, we were just talking about how teams that want to be serious and take advantage. San Francisco is beating the dog shit out of the Cardinals, 38-13. You know why? Because they want it. They want this. They want it bad. Teams like that.
I guarantee it.
Yeah. Now let's go back here. Now let's go back to the Cowboys.
Give me a minute. I'm gonna pop out for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Give me a minute. You talk your shit.
Oh my Lord, they scored. Washington, the Commodores. It's 20-6. Guys, this is what we're talking about. How the fuck, if you are a Cowboy fan right now, you should be pissed. You can't. They're in the playoffs, but they're not in the momentum. They're not in the moment. This is what me and Slick are trying to tell everybody. For the teams for our Buck fans out there that are very nervous, do not be. The Bucks will be ready. The health was the main concern, and they showed you what they can do if they get it right. The only way the Bucks will lose is if the Bucks implode on themselves. So offensively, they cannot self-destruct, guys. That is what the Bucks cannot do. The Bucks have everything going in their favor. Again, if Jensen comes back, that means Hainsey will be in a guard position. That means Leverett. These guys can rotate. And also, again, Jensen will have the knowledge to help the line out. You got a healthier Julio who can be sneakier. This is why we brought Julio in here, Bucs fans. We didn't bring Julio in here to be a 1,000-yard receiver. We brought him in to get us over that hump in the playoffs, like the Antonio Browns.
Yes,
so
sir.
This is why I'm so I'm telling everybody, I was just telling them, Slick, like this is why teams like the 49ers and the Eagles, they're more the real deal, not Dallas, because they're out here playing worth a damn.
That's the thing. I see the NFC like playoff scenarios or whatever. Call me deluded, whatever. I see the Bucs in it, I see 49ers in it, and I see Eagles in it. And after that, I'm not that interested by anybody else, if I'm honest.
There's three teams, like you said. Us, Eagles, maybe, and definitely the 49ers. But yes, again, look at what they're doing. They took care of business. They're taking care of business. Eagles are going to get that number one spot. They're going to get that bye week, and hopefully Hurts will be better. 49ers will be most likely number 2, and they're going to look. If the 49ers play the Giants, that's going to be an ugly playoff game. I cannot continue to say it again that the way the Bucs, don't worry about how the Bucs play today. Look at how the Cowboys are playing today. Look at how these teams that are supposed to be doing shit are doing it, and the Cowboys, you are letting a Washington, like you said, I don't even know the quarterback's name, and that's a damn shame. You're Dak fucking Prescott of the Cowboys. You are the face of this franchise. You're supposed to be the guy, and again, that shows you that run game must not be doing something.
Just want to add, it's Sam Howell. If you got a drink, to Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
Number 14 for the Washington Commies.
The Commodores. The Commodores are beating up on the Cowboys. Now, again, I was just saying, Slick.
Mitchell left them too, isn't he? He was good with the Commodores too.
Yeah, the biggest enemy of the Bucs next week will be the Bucs themselves. So, and I was saying, if Byron can just, one thing that I want him to get out of the habit of, stop wasting first downs on unnecessary runs or predictable runs. Because did you see how he was doing a lot of tosses? I'm like, there you go. Shut up.
I haven't seen a toss, but
yes, I'm sitting here like, that's what I'm talking about.
You know what I do? I said to my wife while we were watching the game, I was like, you know what? I think Byron might be kind of proving me right that they're just holding shit back. And I'm like, I hope fucking not. But
man,
that's a fucking cool story.
It would be.
I'm praying for it because, to be honest, let's be realistic, it probably isn't. But no, still, I can pray. I can pray.
No, but the simple fact that it wasn't predictable. Again, we talked about if Luke doesn't get that holding, Rachaad White gets a lot more yards because they
touchdown in the future.
Yes, and they didn't expect that. Anytime the Bucs got stopped on a run, they knew where we were going. Tosses that caught that team off guard. They're like, oh shit. And when the guards were running out in blocks, now it's like, oh shit. You mean to tell me we won't be able to do that in Dallas? And that's the funny thing is the Bucs beat the Cowboys by running the ball. We might be able to get away with it and flip the script and pass and fuck them up so bad that our run will come back in effect. Again, it's just about being creative. I see a lot more of the Buccaneers being able to do things because we have the pieces.
AJ, do you want me to tell you how ugly this game is? This Cowboys game. Dak Prescott has a 93 yards, and he's just about to hit the fourth quarter. I mean, I'm not saying he can't raise his game, but he's not known for it. But let's look at the rushing attack. 19, Tony Pollard, 7 carries. So you stop the run against this team, they are one-dimensional.
And they don't have – and what's the receiving numbers like? What does CeeDee Lamb have?
CeeDee Lamb's got – well, if you know their quarterback's only got 93, you know he's going to be under a buck. You know he's probably under 50 because you got to spread the ball around to at least two or three people. CeeDee Lamb is on 39 yards and a touchdown, 4 receptions.
And that's not good. That's not good at all. And folks, this is what we're saying. You're supposed to, and mind you, I don't give a damn that this is a rivalry game. You supposed to come into town and whoop ass. The Eagles are whooping the Giants' ass.
Who did we play in our last game of the season? Last year,
I think we had played the Panthers. The Panthers.
Did we whip that ass?
Yeah, we whooped that ass.
We wanted the second place seed.
We had
something to play for.
Right.
We could have been third. We could have been second. We played for the second seed. This is the difference, guys. I know people are going to sit there and go, oh, but we played for it last year. This team's playing for it. People are playing for position. It means something. The Buccaneers were guaranteed the fourth without anything happening. All teams could have just given up losses, and the Buccaneers would be exactly the same. It meant nothing.
It meant nothing. So,
what we're trying to say, I'm not trying to, and I know AJ's on this with me. We're not saying that this is a win for us. It's more of a case of like the biggest win for us right now, considering how beat up this Buccaneers team is. I think everyone who watches this show or is a Buccaneers fan can turn around and we've had our asses kicked a little bit in the injury game, which we didn't have in 2020, which we didn't have until late of 2021. So this is our year to go. Let's be cautious to the wind. Let's get everyone right. Let's get those guys who are coming back a bit of experience to go into the playoffs so they are ready to play. Because Antoine Winfield's been around for 2 games. I haven't seen him shine until this game, and he shone for me. He was the only spot on, once you took out the bones of the defense, once you scraped the talent out, like I'm not saying that no one's talented in that team, but once you took out the starters and a couple of guys, I think they couldn't rotate anyone on defensive line because there's no one available, which is and I think the defensive line did a decent enough job, but you need to have your 2 spill players in it. If you're playing a 3-4, if you're playing a 3-4 or a 4-3, your defensive linebackers have to be good spill defenders. They didn't spill very well. They were hesitant. They took the time they took to read the game.
Yep.
I would say by the time they got to the line of scrimmage is usually when Levante David has already hit them.
Yep. Again,
unless there's a good block on it.
Yeah. Again, did you see what we all saw, fans? Did you see what Devin White does when he broke through that line of scrimmage? He put the fear in Ritter so bad. Ritter just dropped the damn football and said, "Fuck this." He threw that thing.
I'm done. I'm out.
He's like, "Fuck it. I'll take that." Imagine, and can you blame him? A guy like Devin, he hits you. You might have to wake. You'll have to go to the doctor and be like, "Is everything functioning right?" I'm peeing out of my nose. Like, he hit me that bad. Again, guys, that is what made it so exciting. We're not celebrating a loss. We're celebrating that the Bucs
are in the playoffs. We're celebrating ready. Some guys. Hopefully, Russell Gage is back. Hey, sky is the limit. The Buccaneers held out Mike Evans, guys. Let that sink in. Mike Evans was the only guy who scored a lot of touchdowns for us. He only got 6. 6 touchdowns. 3 of them came in one game.
Yep.
That cat was not playing. Imagine if this Buccaneers played, if they wanted it, like desperately wanted it, like that. We need it to get into the playoffs. Trust me, Mike Evans is playing. You remember when we went into the 2020 playoffs? Mike Evans was banged up, and Mike Evans just turned around. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking playing. That's what he point blank said. He's like, I'm playing, because he was like, I don't know when this moment's going to pass me up.
Yep.
I'm playing with Tom Brady. I'm playing with the GOAT. I've hit numbers like no one's ever seen before. I want to go in and make my playoff case, because guess what? There are wide receivers out there. Julian Edelman is probably the perfect example of a guy who doesn't. It's unfair to say nothing in the regular season, but isn't as productive when it's playoff time. Wow, that dude just bombs it. He is a machine. He is mechanical. He is everything everyone wants in a wide receiver. As soon as he goes to the regular season, he is just a third wide receiver.
And that's all right. Sometimes some guys aren't meant to be overall in the long run great. They're just great at certain moments. And again, the simple fact that Mike Evans didn't want to play due to an illness, that should let you guys know we're reserving, because Mike Evans has played banged up so many times. If
Mike wanted this game, he's in. It's done. It's not even a question. Mike Evans would want to play this game, because Mike Evans is all about attitude. He's grit. He is grit 100%.
And he's going to come out swinging. And besides, don't you want a fresh Mike Evans? This is with a game that counts. I like the fact that he's going to be fresh. He's going to come out swinging. Guys, again, the Bucs showed me so much today where I was like, oh, shit. When we really want to do shit right, we can do it. Again, oh, man, I'm telling you, the Bucs will. If the only way the Bucs will lose is if they play their own selves, because on paper the Bucs they're gonna tell you, the media wants to tell you the Cowboys are overall better. They are really not. On paper, Brady's the better quarterback. On paper, Mike Evans is the better receiver. Chris Godwin is the better receiver. Running back wise, I'll say it's a debate.
It's a debate. I would probably give Dallas that one. And when it comes to O-line, I probably, and it's a very minute scrape, give Dallas the fucking offensive line. But, and I say this with a but, if Ryan Jensen comes back, that changes everything. I'm not saying it's going to change, because I don't know how Ryan Jensen's going to play, but based on past performance, I would say that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have it.
That's right.
But right second, I would say I'd give it to Dallas, but not by a lot.
No, and let's go on defense. The defensive side. Everybody.
It's your trench game, right? And the one thing I have to say, I'm really pleased with Bowles. And Bowles, I'm going to give you a little. I'm going to give it to you. You lost your best pass rusher. JTS in the beginning of that game, in my opinion, looked really good, and he faded more and more as that game went on. I don't know why. No idea. I can't explain it. The beginning of that game, he was everywhere. And then all of a sudden, they put backup. They put in players that aren't as good. And he's struggling to get to people, or it's almost like he gives up. I mean, I don't know, because I don't know the guy's heart. I've never met the guy, so I'm not going to say he's given up, because I never want to say no one has enough heart, because I would give my left nut, my right nut, my left arm, every arm. Yeah. It doesn't matter to be in their position. Yep. And I really would. But it seemed like as that game went on, especially third quarter, he faded and faded and faded, and then he was insignificant. But in the first 2 quarters of that game, he looked good, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just, I think sometimes, again, there's going to be some plays where JTS got to fucking understand. Just run through the damn line. Stop trying to run around. You never know. Right. You running through that.
He's like, there's the quarterback. I'll do this. Yeah. You know when you do this, he just does that. And you're chasing the guy. But what you do is you do this.
Right.
You scrape off your O-lineman's ass.
Yes.
You scrape. Like, me and you aren't dumb, dude. I don't know he knows this. It's got to be like a...
I think sometimes
it's got to be a college thing. Is like he's used to beating people with speed. He must be.
Right, and I think that's what it is. He's used to that, but not realizing this is you want a quarterback to run further back so you can get your other guys, not run step forward.
No, and there were a couple of times, pursuit-wise, he made that dude fucking run for his life. He just couldn't capitalize. I'm like, okay, you put him out of his shot, and then he ended up throwing dumb fucking balls, and I'm fine with that.
Right,
it was what we got after halftime. It's almost like he played, I wouldn't say with reckless abandon, because sometimes reckless abandon is useful because it means you just get nasty.
Yep.
It just seemed like he played himself out of position. And it just did. Like, when I saw the first, I was like, wow, he's starting to look good. Like, he looks really solid.
He was looking very solid. One second. He was looking solid. The issue is, again, sometimes it can be fatigue. I think sometimes when your players get fatigued, especially for a guy like that, he's just going on instinct. I just got to get there. And sometimes this is where rotation will help. With Nassib coming back, people don't realize Nassib is a good little key. Like, he's another Anthony Nelson out there.
Yes, sir.
To play his role. And
you can rotate. You're not going to miss a beat.
You're not going to miss a beat, and Nassib might be that X factor to where JTS might go, shit, now I can get in there and I have extra set of lungs and I have more reserved in the tank. Again, guys, we're getting healthy at the right moment. The simple fact that we lost Shaq Barrett, us getting everybody back is a blessing.
This defense should not be that good without
Shaq Barrett.
All I ever got told, and I'm a defensive backs coach. You know that. I'm a defensive coordinator originally, but my team's back up, so I'm now coaching again. So yeah, my first with the team. So big shout out to the Sandwell Steelers. This is your DB coach calling out you boys. Anyway, let's get this down. This is how simple it comes down to. We have always been told by the media, by fans, by anything, that these set of defensive backs aren't good enough.
Right.
And they'll always pick on somebody.
Yep.
Even though Davis will not pick you a ball off, but he'll fucking smash somebody to make sure they don't get it.
Yep.
That's how I look at him.
Yep.
He reminds me of my guy, and I'm going to call him out, my guy on the Steelers, O'Heal. O'Heal's a fucking cat. He just turned around to me and said, I don't snag balls. What I do is piss off receivers so much that they can't catch balls. I like that.
That's fine.
But my free safety was such a dog, it catch the ball instead. And he went, so there was no need for me to compete for the ball. All I had to do was just set it up for my dude. I was
right.
That's how I see Colton Davis. He ain't going to get every single ball. He's got hands like a digital watch. He's got hands like a diddle. He ain't catching nothing. How many times have we seen him go?
Too many times.
Yeah,
Like, damn it,
it don't matter because he has that dog in him to fucking smack somebody and be aggressive, and that's what he's so good at. That allows someone like an Antoine Winfield to pluck it and run it, baby. And it's the same on the other side. We have got good safeties. It's all got to just gel, and when it permeates through this defensive back unit, it can be special. Honestly, this is the best defensive back unit I've seen from this Buccaneers team in a long time.
I agree. You know who Antoine Winfield reminds me of, but he's a better hitter. Tanar Jackson. Again, and you're right. Even in the safeties, we have rotation guys. You have Edwards that can come in. You got Logan Ryan that can come in.
Hey, I tell you, those two safeties, when we had two safeties out, they did an admirable job.
Oh yeah, we forgot about Keanu. Keanu can come in there, and he is the enforcer that deliver the boom to let you know you're there.
Yeah, he's a thumper.
He's a thumper, and this is what you're right. The secondary is not the weakness. If anything, Bowles has turned that flaw around, and I will give him that. He turned that around because remember, the Bucs last year offensively, we know we were lethal, but
oh god, how many times do we see balls fly everywhere?
Yep, DBs, we were shaky. You can't say that shit now. You can't say that. And again, with the simple fact that Shaq Barrett is gone, it's a miracle that the Bucs are still holding it down together.
It's good coaching. That's good what it is. It's good coaching. We gotta give coaches their due. They have allowed this team, who's got a lot of talent, and they are special right now. They're not elite. They're not elite. They don't need to be elite. They're special. That's what they need to do. But this DB unit, led by Colton Davis, we got Jamal Dean, we got Colton Davis coming back. Remember that, guys. Colton Davis is coming back. He can shut down guys. He may not pick every ball that's coming his way. He'll damn sure make sure no motherfucker on that fucking field is going to catch it either. That's his presence.
And he pisses people off, like you said. He pisses. You don't think them receivers get frustrated with a guy like that? And we forget, Carlton can hit. He will hit that guy.
He can play the wood.
And you have Jamel Dean on the other end who has the speed to recover, and he'll pick you off. You have Sean Murphy. He's the element of corners. When he gets hot, he gets hot. Because let's be real. I would not be surprised if Sean Murphy
win the Super Bowl without the cat.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if he goes off in the and look, Levante is going to be Levante. Devin White, Vita Vea, and Hicks together. I think they said when those guys play together, the Bucs are 5-2. When they don't play them, yeah. So again, we are just talking about Alice because they have no D right now. They got no heart. They're Alice.
Who the fuck is Alice?
The Dallas Cowboys.
That does not translate.
Alice, because they playing like some straight bitches right now.
All right, so there's a very famous song in England where someone goes, "Oh, I live next door to a girl called Alice," and then the guy turns around, "Alice? Who the fuck is Alice?"
No, Dal is ass right now.
But that's the same thing, though. It's like, Alice? Who the fuck is Alice?
Yes, and that's my thing. As you already said it. Fucking Dak, I couldn't believe that you told me that he had only 93 yards going to the fourth.
It's gone up a little bit.
It doesn't even matter. They're still losing.
They are 23-6, and he is 14 for 34, which means he has missed on 20 fucking passes. He has one touchdown and one INT, and he is 128. Damn. And people are telling us he's going to kick our ass. Like, okay, if he does, respect. I would lay down my life and say respect to Dak Prescott. But you know what? This is the Dak Prescott. And I know he's not watching this, but I'm going to sleep easy for the next 7 days. I don't have the fucking technology you have. I don't have the fucking bullshit that you got going on. I have a simple bed with a wife next to me, and I will probably end up with a toddler in between us. And I will probably still sleep better than you will against this Tampa Bay front.
Facts.
It's that simple, brother.
Facts. And again, the Bucs have a better defense than Washington. I don't give a shit what nobody says. So, and remember, the playoffs coming. So that shows us you didn't have a strong run game. the Bucs are going to shut that down. We already know our main objective is to stop your run and make you one-dimensional. You don't have the receiving core to shred us. Everybody knows.
Would you like to know what they're averaging in their rushing?
Sure. Yes.
Tony Pollard is 7 carries for 19, so he's 2.7 average. Dak Prescott is the second guy, the glue, 6 for 16, 2.7. And Ezekiel, the Messiah, the guy who was going to change the game,
right?
8 carries for 10 yards.
Damn.
I hate draft analysts because I got no problem with Ezekiel Elliott. He is a talented guy. Like, I would dream to be have his skill set. I really would. But I just hate it when draft analysts turn around. Oh, he's the second coming of this, and I'm like,
and he's not
Damian Tomlinson.
Yeah,
he's not this. Let him be him. Let him say he is one of the best. Do you know what I would use as my turn of phrase if I was a draft analyst? He is the best generational talent to come out of Ohio State. Is that a fair assessment? Yes.
Yes.
I'm not wrong.
No.
To turn around and say he's the best, he will be one of the best generational talents in the NFL. That's a hard fucking. Do people not realize who's been in the league?
Yeah, and you're putting this kind of unwanted pressure and unrealistic. People used to think Trent Richardson from Alabama was going to be the greatest thing to come out. He went into Cleveland and turned into ass. And it happens.
Again. And he's probably still to this day a still better running back than me and you. Yeah. But the point, I always do that because I want to humanize every player because
right.
I don't like talking smack. Me personally, and this is just me. I don't like talking smack about players saying they are untalented, they don't have skill, or blah blah blah, because they are doing the one thing I wish I could do. So I will never touch that plate. What I will say is you're not playing to your standard. You're not playing to your team standard. And that's how I go. I just want to get that out of the way because sometimes some people go, oh, this guy's playing like gas. And I'm like, dude, put in like 10% what he puts in that team, and you might be able to trim his toenails.
Right. Well, and I always say that just because of I do that because I'm going with their logic. Like how they talk about it, and it's like, you put all this hype into it, and now again, like you said, he's still a good guy, still a good player. It's just unfortunate that they can't. Everybody's not going to live up to those expectations that the analysts do, and you're setting them up. Stop! You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like you said, some of these guys, never played. You never played, so what you're saying is bullshit, and we get it. Sometimes you like you said about how Shannon them talk for ratings. Stop doing that because
that's the point of the show, though, isn't it? Yes. I don't blame Shannon. I love Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp is one of my favorite people to watch all time because, like, I'm not African American. I live in the UK, obviously, but I always feel like I'm a pioneer for everyone who's. And I'm going to use the best way to try and describe this because someone will always be offended. I always felt myself as the odd person out. So I always establish myself with anyone who's different to me. Mm-hmm. That's my brotherhood. So I was hanging out with people like I didn't see a black person in the flesh because this is England, right?
Right.
And I live I live slam dunk in the middle of England till I was 13 years old. We don't have them. They didn't exist. And now there's more and more people coming over. So I always feel like, man, they're just cats like me and you. Well, obviously.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. No, Shannon, he goes against the grain because one, just like TOs of the world, your Ali's, they were cocky, but they backed it up. And Shannon has the resume to speak on it. He can say whatever he wants. Like he had told Skip just a few weeks ago, I'm in the effing Hall of Fame. Right. He can do that. No, I like when Shannon, but sometimes when certain analysts, I want you to, and I get it, it's entertainment, but I like when you talk more football because as we always said, there are people out there who are going to take their word as gospel. And what if they are wrong? You know how many times they've said certain analysts have said something about the Bucs and we're like, what? Do you watch the game?
AJ, you know my favorite comment against the Buccaneers is, and it's a guy I like watching. It's Colin. Is it Colherd? The Herd?
Colin Cowherd.
Colin Cowherd. He turned around round about the time the Buccaneers were losing when they first got Tom Brady and went, the Buccaneers are a country club of talent.
Yeah. A country club of talent. Exactly. And that's why I like that, because when they say the dumbest shit like that, sometimes if you're gonna give me football stuff, I can dig it. But just when you talk out your ass, like some of the guys, I'm like, wait a minute, do you watch the Bucs or are you watching highlights? You can't get everything off a highlight. Watch the entire game, like and I like that Shannon addressed. Like, wow, yeah.
Shannon is one of my favorite dudes. I know he's a bit of an anti-Tom Brady, but I think he has to be because he has such a positive Tom Brady.
Right.
And you can't have a debate show where you're both going, oh, Tom Brady's the greatest. Tom Brady.
Right.
Do you think Shannon Sharp wouldn't go, fuck, if I was playing when Tom Brady played and I was Tom Brady's Gronk, at least until Gronk replaced me, how many Super Bowls I could have had? Of course, he probably fathomed that at one point in his life.
Yeah,
I know I would have been like,
yeah, and
I'm seeing what he does with Gronk. I mean, I did that.
Yeah, and there's another guy named Nick Wright. He used to be
I love Nick Wright because of his personality. He is so biased, it's fun.
Yes.
You just got to look at it that way.
Yes, the Chiefs. But even he has tried to get...
I could do a good impression of him. You ready?
Yeah.
Wow, the Chiefs are still really, really good. And Patrick Mahomes he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT, and it doesn't matter what anyone thinks because he's the GOAT. Tom Brady he's Tom Brady, and he will never amount. It doesn't matter anymore because I'm Nick Wright. This is my show, and I get to choose who's the best.
Yep, and that's exactly what he does.
I like him all. I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
He's even seen the light. He'll say certain things. He's telling the commentators when they go in on the Bucs, he's like, guys, you act like we haven't seen this before. This story. He's like, I don't care what their record is. He's like, they have Tom Brady. And I love how he called him out. He said, you're acting like the NFC is stacked. He said, what quarterback would you take right now over Brady? And they all go, well, according to, he's like, I didn't ask you about the numbers. He said, tell me when the chips are down and you got to put everything to the table, who are you going to take?
Yes.
And that's what Nick be saying. And it's so funny because they want to disagree, but that's why we laugh. As
what makes those shows, it's all about the disagreement because
it's all about
show doesn't exist without it. If everyone just sat there like me and you, we agree occasionally, and sometimes we disagree. But the beauty about what me and you both do is the fact we hear each other out, and sometimes I'll persuade you onto my side, and you'll be like, "But Slick," and then sometimes you persuaded me many a time where I've gone, "Oh no, it's all on Tom Brady." You went, "Oh, but Slick, look at this and look at that," and I go, "You know what? I remember there was one show where I was devil on Tom Brady." And you went, but Slick, he did this. They did this. And I went, you know what? I'm going to shut the fuck up. You're right. You're absolutely fucking right. And I know that there's been moments between me and you where we both go. And that's the beauty of debate because nobody's right.
Nope.
We're all right until we're all wrong.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of it. And look, San Fran took care of business. 38-13. Ass whooping. Good God. They just from what I can see, they just came out saying, "Oh, we not."
Imagine they're gonna fucking do Dallas by 20 fucking points in a game that actually fucking mattered. That's the worst part. Like, if this was like what the Buccaneers had, where it was just like cherry top game,
right?
Like it's nothing.
Right. I agree. Yeah, but and mind you, the hype about it, and it's just the hype around it. You have people hyping the Cowboys. Oh, the Bucs are not going to hold out.
That's what they did today. They're gonna.
And I've talked to people, especially when I go at people on TikTok or Twitter. They'll be like, "No, you're wrong. Look at how the Cow." I'm like, I'm looking.
AJ, I'll tell you what. You know what we need to do?
What's up?
Me and you need to record ourselves doing a version of our reactions versus the Dallas Cowboys, because we pretty much got them, of all the plays, overreact, underreact, however you want to do it. And we're going to send it to that cat who does the have you ever seen, I'm trying to remember, Scooter Magooda.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. We need to do like a reply message. So he's going to do his shit. We'll have our shit.
Yeah.
And I love it because if you intermesh them, they could be a lot of fun.
Right. Oh, it's like, guys,
He'd be like, fucking Dallas, you need to fucking do this. I'm like, fucking you go, fucking Tom. Fucking punch him in the fucking heavens. They don't need anything. And then they'll be like, fucking Winfield, what you doing?
Yes,
you're the God, you're the savior. And I think it'll be fun.
At this point, I just want to, like, for you Cowboy fans out there, I really hope y'all get shit together. I really do, because this is a psychological warfare. I don't think, like, people don't realize how momentum is psychological as well. You don't want to go into a playoffs limping like that.
You know when everyone was like, oh, we need to win this game for momentum? Not now anymore. Because guess what? Both teams have lost a game going in. So guess what? We're even Stevens. So it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if the Buccaneers won a game or lost a game, because we are in exactly the same state of momentum as them. But if the Buccaneers accept that they were going, look, this was our plan, this is what we're doing, then players will go, okay,
we're fine.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it, but I get it. I get it. They wanted to rest me. They wanted to. All I gotta do is just focus on Dallas. Right. Dallas players are going, shit, someone just knocked my teeth out. I need to go find a dentist.
And they probably were the ones talking shit. Okay, we're gonna go into Washington. We're gonna beat the brakes.
Dallas spoke shit. Are you kidding me? Nah, they would never do.
I bet you Dallas was in there
like talk shit.
No, I bet you Dallas was talking that shit, and now they're like,
you don't have sarcasm over there.
Yeah, I
never ever. No, Dallas. They're the humblest guys. They're probably going, so frustrating to lose to the Washington Commanders. We don't have a chance in hell against those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're probably suddenly going, all the way, baby, 5-point star, Super Bowl or bust.
I kid you not.
Exactly what they're doing.
I kid you not. Right now, I would not want to be Dallas fans. Just relax. Just if you could be humble for the entire week, you might have a chance. But if you come in here with this bullshit about, let's be real, and I this is a hot take right here. I'm sorry, Slick. I'm calling it.
Get out.
If the Bucs stop the Cowboys run, they're blowing them out. If the Bucs stop Dallas,
I'm gonna add a little icing on top of that, a little sprinkle. I'm gonna get the sprinkle on. Guess what? It's not just you who thinks that. At least 2 teams that are in the playoffs are hoping that is also true. And they are the New York Football Giants and those Philadelphia Eagles is going, sprinkle it, baby. Hey, Tampa, sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Sprinkle that salt. Get that salt in there. Make it a real fucking horrible muffin to eat. Make them go, where's that water at?
Yes, turn it into a slug. That's my hot take. If the Bucs stop that run and you make Dak one-dimensional, they're going to whoop the shit out of them, because Dak is prone. I'm going to tell you this right now. Dak will throw a pick six. If the Bucs stop the run, he's going to throw a pick six. That's going to put pressure on the Cowboys defense. The offense will get going, and then it's going to be a slaughter. I'm telling you this right now. If Zeke has under 40 yards, and if Pollard has, if the Cowboys have under 80 yards of rushing, the Bucs are going to beat them by 17. That's my hot take. And on that note, I'm going to get ready to watch the rest of these games. But guys, again, you can catch me at AJ Turnip. It's about Bucking Time on YouTube. Flex Luthor _813 Instagram, ATurner24 Twitter. But again, guys, we won in reality because we're going to the playoffs. Slick and I broke it down wide. Please spread this out. We will see you guys tomorrow for the aftermath, where we're going to be doing playoff talk. We're talking playoffs. Damn. Because this damn game don't even matter no more. We about to talk about Dallas because that's who we about to play. So on that note, Slick, always a pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow, my man.
I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna close this bad boy up, and you just cut out here, and I will crack on, brother. Guys.